Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. We start the week in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Las Vegas Convention Center. It's the site of the 2014 USA Wrestling ASICS Las Vegas Open Wrestling Championships. The nation's very best athletes have already arrived there to compete in the Senior Open, the annual national championships, if you will, of this competition. Here you see the U.S. Army team quietly and patiently awaiting the arrival of their luggage at McCarran International Airport. We go back a year. Remember, Army is the defending champs in Greco-Roman. They have top grapplers in all three styles. Other athletes were getting in their last-minute training and weight control on the mats in Vegas as they get ready for the big show. We talked with Lehigh Valley Athletic Club coach Jeff Buxton as his athletes went through final workouts prior to the freestyle tournament.
We've done some good training. We've been over to Cuba, Belarus, some early tournaments in September, so our guys have put in some good time this year, and we're really looking forward to the Open and then the trials in the following month. We're looking forward to all these guys competing. We have two guys competing in the junior feelers on Saturday, so it's a good weekend for the LVAC.
Well, the women's coach for the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is Olympian Marcy Van Duzen. She's brought a large group of athletes for both the senior level and the junior women's regional tournament.
We have a good team this year. We're continuing to grow, so in our second year we have 16 girls that are going to wrestle in the Open this year and 9 high school girls, which is a significant increase from what we had last year, so we're pretty excited about that. It's also a qualifier for our California national team, so for the Fargo junior national team. So the girls that place in the top 3 here then qualify for the national team as well, so it's kind of a double whammy for us, so we're excited about that too.
Well, the age group competition offers great opportunities for the nation's top young stars. Roy Nash, who was a double champion at the Western Junior Regionals, went on to make the 2013 Cadet World Team in Greco. This year, he'll skip over the junior event and enter the FILA Junior Greco-Roman Nationals for those 20 and under, as well as the Senior Open Greco-Roman Nationals. Nash explains why.
Last year with the junior regionals in Greco, I only had about 2 other kids in the weight class, so the weight class just didn't really have a lot of guys. And in freestyle, I had a pretty tough tournament. I had the kid that won folk style nationals a couple weeks before last year, and so I had a good match there. But just going into it this year, I know I kind of wanted to challenge myself a little bit more.
As we went into production for this program, day 1 of the Open was already underway. It features competition in the different divisions, including Veterans Greco-Roman Nationals for those 25 years old and above, Junior Greco-Roman Regionals for boys featuring top high school wrestlers, Junior Freestyle Regionals for girls with female high school athletes, and the Kids Greco-Roman event with a variety of different age groups. Now, review of the final registration for the Senior Open showed some big-time names on this year's roster. Men's freestyle Olympic champs Jordan Burroughs at 163 and Jake Varner at 213 are registered, as is Olympic bronze medalist Coleman Scott at 134. World medalist Travel Delagnev, who competes at 275, is also on the field, and that's just a sampling of some of the greats. In women's freestyle, Olympic bronze medalist Clarissa Chun at 105 and Randy Miller at 152 are both expected to compete. Chun is a past world champ. She'll be joined by fellow world champ Elena Paraskova at 138. Past world medalists include Alyssa Lampe at 105 and Helen Maroulis at 121. In Greco-Roman, a number of past Olympians could be in the mix, including 2-time Olympian Spencer Mango at 132, as well as Olympians Ellis Coleman at 145 and Justin Lester at 156. Now, there's a new setup in the convention center where 28 mats are spread out for the tournaments in all ages and styles. The action begins on Wednesday, April 16th, and runs all the way through Saturday night, April 20th. A new feature, the Golden Circle, a special arena with 2 raised mats where the championship finals of all age divisions will be contested. This is one of the many improvements in presentation that USA Wrestling will utilize to enhance the event.
Really super excited about having all of the ages wrestling, all of the styles wrestling, so that we can really promote wrestling in not only the Southern Nevada area but the United States as a whole. It's a fan experience, it's a wrestling experience, and more importantly, it's an experience in the spirit of wrestling that has been never done before.
Fans not able to make it to Vegas this week still have an opportunity to catch all the action. For the second straight year, USA Wrestling has partnered with Flow to provide complete video coverage. There'll be live feeds on their Flow Pro platform, all mats at the U.S. Open, along with extensive coverage from other major events, including the FILA Junior Nationals, the Veteran Nationals, and the Western Junior Regionals. Well, the broadcast team providing commentary from the Open Wrestling Championships will feature Flow Wrestling's Mark Bader, Joe Williamson, Willie Saylor, and Ryan Blake, along with USA Wrestling's Richard Emmel. Adam Fenn talks about the growth of the Flow Wrestling coverage this year and the success of the partnership with USA Wrestling.
We get better and better as the years go by, and even as the months go by. This time, what we're going to step up is we're going to actually have 2 big camera crews come in for both of the mats and the race platforms. We're going to have actually full-on productions for both of the race platforms. USA Wrestling does a great job as a governing body and as a tournament host in many other ways trying to develop wrestling. But Flow brings that community flair and some of that grassroots kind of feel to the fans.
This year's event will also feature historic television coverage as well as part of the partnership between USA Wrestling and the Universal Sports Network. For the first time, the Senior Open will air live for both the semifinal and final rounds. On Friday, the 18th of April, the live semifinal show will start at 7 o'clock Pacific time. On Saturday, the 19th, live coverage of the Senior Championship Finals will kick off at 7 o'clock Pacific time. The broadcast crew for the live coverage includes Van Stokes, Jake Herbert, Nick Garone, and Jason Bryant. Of course, we'll have complete coverage of all the action from Las Vegas over the next few weeks. All right, stay tuned, wrestling fans. We'll be back when we return. Stay tuned.
Has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
All right, wrestling fans, it's time to mark your calendars for the 2014 Beat the Streets Gala, set for the 7th of May, deep in the heart of New York City. This year's international competition will return to historic Times Square, where it's been held 2 previous times. However, this time the competition will be in a different location within the Times Square area. It'll be between 42nd and 43rd. There'll be an exciting new format as Team USA will square off with a team of World All-Stars featuring selected star wrestlers from around the world. Well, the lineups for both the United States and the World All-Stars have not yet been finalized, but will be announced soon. The competition will be held alongside the annual Beat the Streets Awards Gala that will be following the competition at the Best Buy Theater on Broadway. Tickets are required for the gala, which is a fundraiser for youth wrestling in New York. Last year's competition was held at Vanderbilt Hall in historic Grand Central Terminal. The event was billed the Rumble on the Rails and included dual meet between Team USA, Iran, and Russia. In 2010, an all-star challenge featured top U.S. wrestlers that was held on the USS Intrepid, an aircraft carrier docked on the west side of Manhattan. In 2011, the United States defeated defeated world champ Russia 5-2 in the first ever sports event held in historic Times Square. In 2012, another U.S. versus Russia dual meet was held in Times Square, along with the U.S. Olympic team wrestle-off for the 132-pound position on the U.S. Olympic team for men's freestyle. Again, mark your calendars. Wednesday, May 7th, come out to Times Square for another spectacular event. Well, recently, USA Wrestling announced a number of changes in the World Team Trials, the event that determines which athletes will represent Team USA at the championships in Tashkent, Uzbekistan this September. For the first time since 1999, the men's freestyle and Greco-Roman World Team Trials event will take place on different weekends. Well, the World Team Trials for men's and women's freestyle will take place in Madison, Wisconsin, May 31st and June 1st, while the Greco-Roman Team Trials will be held in Daytona Beach, Florida on June 13th. The reason for the change was to allow male wrestlers a chance to try out for the World Championships in both freestyle and Greco-Roman. The U.S. has had a long history of athletes who excelled in both styles at the senior level. Olympic Greco-Roman champ Steve Frazier was also a senior national champion freestyle. Freestyle Olympian Sam Hazewinkle was second in the Olympic trials in Greco-Roman, and freestyle Olympic silver medalist Sammy Henson was a national Greco-Roman champ. We also remember back to Hall of Famer Greg Gibson, who won an Olympic medal in Greco-Roman and 3 world medals in freestyle.
The consensus we got from a few of the freestyle guys that if the calendar played out right and they had the opportunity to challenge and wrestle in the Greco-Roman trials, then they would like to do so.
Well, the structure of the event will change this year as well, and for the first time there'll be 8 World Championship weight classes in each style. It includes 6 Olympic weights and 2 non-Olympic weights. With this in mind, the World Team Trials in 2014 will feature the 6 Olympic weight classes in each style to determine which athletes will fill the 18 total positions on the U.S. World Team. Later this summer, there will be a special World Team Trials event for the 6 non-Olympic weight classes. The date for that has yet to be determined. Once again, here's Cody Bickley.
Really, it was once again just about opportunity. That obviously there's some depth in our freestyle program, and you know, if once again if things don't shake out the way things play out for some guys, then this once again provides an opportunity for them to make a team.
Well, now let's head to Wabash College in Crawfordsville, Indiana, where the National Wrestling Coaches Association and USA Wrestling hosted the annual National Scholastic Duels that featured 22 state-level teams competing in folk style. Minnesota Elite, who entered the National Scholastic Duels for the very first time, captured the team title, winning all 7 of their dual meets. In the key match of the championship pool, Minnesota scored a 30-23 victory over Illinois. With the bout still up for grabs heading into the upper weights, Mark Hall of Minnesota scored a tech fall at 170. Minnesota ran off 4 straight wins from there. It was Bobby Stevenson at 182, Gable Stevenson at 195, and Justin Cumberbatch at 220, all earning victories. Illinois took second place when they edged third place Indiana 28-26. A pin by Lucas Warren at 220 clinched the win for Team Illinois. Also competing in the championship pool, Team Colorado. They placed 4th. Virginia was 5th and Ohio 6th. The Outstanding Wrestler Award was shared by Minnesota's Mark Hall, who dominated with tech falls in the first and last rounds and 5 consecutive first period falls in the other bouts. Hall was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week for his outstanding performance. He was joined as OW by Indiana's Chad Redd at 120, who topped a great field, defeating 3 state champs and 2 Fargo champions. Well, the Sportsmanship Award went to Team Virginia. Congrats to all the teams who competed at these important duels. We'll be right back.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, during the setup for the Open Wrestling Championships, there's more going on than just unrolling the mats. We stopped by All-American Wrestling Supply, where official USA Wrestling products and merchandise are up for sale. USA Wrestling and All-American have partnered for many years now, providing a full line of clothing and equipment for wrestlers and their families. A day before the action begins, a truckload of products are taken out of boxes and put on display. We talked with Joe Miller of All-American Wrestling Supply, who explained how USA Wrestling products help promote the sport and showed us some of the great new products available this year.
We're over a decade into this partnership with USA Wrestling. It never surprises me. I walk through airports and, little kids, my son's wrestling tournaments or my daughter's swim meets, and I'll see people wearing this shirt. So, we're really thankful for Rich Bender and what he's done, giving us the opportunity. I think it's been a pretty good relationship both ways.
Well, the collegiate season may have come to a close, but that doesn't mean the news has stopped, not at all. As a matter of fact, there are some college programs at the Division I level now looking for new head men. Among the programs, Arizona State, Navy, Air Force, West Virginia, and Purdue. Last week, we of course announced that Arizona State had hired USA Wrestling's national freestyle coach Zeke Jones as their new head man. The position became available after Sean Charles resigned. The U.S. Naval Academy also announced their new head coach. This fall, longtime coach Bruce Burnett retired. His assistant Brian Antonelli coached the program on an interim basis. Navy then hired current U.S. Air Force Academy coach Joel Sherritt to the head coaching position there. Sherritt, if you recall, was an assistant coach at Navy for many years. He now makes his return to the on-deck circle, if you will, at Annapolis. With his departure, the Air Force head coaching position is now open. West Virginia, competing in the Big 12, seeks a new head coach to replace the departing Craig Turnbull. Purdue from the Big Ten also is in the midst of a head coaching hunt following the resignation of their coach, Scott Hinkle. To add interest to the coaching changes, USA Wrestling is in the process of hiring 2 major coaching posts. The national Greco-Roman position became available when longtime coach Steve Frazier accepted a new fundraising position within USA Wrestling. And of course, the departure of Zeke Jones for Arizona State left the national freestyle coach open. We will, of course, keep you posted on these coaching positions as they're filled. Well, this last week, USA Wrestling fell victim to another Instagram takeover. World silver medalist Helen Maroulis took control of USA Wrestling's social media to show a day in her life. Maroulis, who is originally from Maryland, checked in from Burnaby Mountain, Canada, where she's a student at Simon Fraser University and a member of the women's wrestling squad. Here, Helen's greeting fans from the weight room at Simon Fraser.
Hey guys, it's Helen Maroulis, and I'm doing a USA Wrestling Instagram takeover. So I'm going to show you just some of the training activities that I do, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks.
She posted this video from a strength workout. Here she's added some photos on the joys and sorrows of stepping on the scale. Merla shared a meal of scrambled eggs and kale, broccoli, avocado, and a fruit salad as she begins her weight cut for the Open. And there was this Vine video from a live wrestling workout. Here's a shot of the team having a little fun in the sauna. And of course, pictures of Helen and junior world champion Danielle Lepage going through recovery in the cold pool. And a beautiful, awesome view of Burnaby Mountain from Helen's school as she stands on the train tracks. Nice job, Helen. Thank you. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. Stay with us.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Now let's head to the U.S. Olympic Training Center, where some of the members of Women's Team USA had a special day with about 400 Girl Scouts. Well, the event was organized by world champ Adeline Gray and her teammates Victoria Anthony, Erin Golston, and Veronica Carlson. The Girl Scouts were there to see what women's wrestling is all about, hear personal stories from the resident athletes, and were able to do some fitness activities on the OTC wrestling mats as well. These types of events are truly the beginning of the growth of our sport. In recent weeks, USA Wrestling has lost some very important leaders to our grassroots community. State chairpersons Mike Dowden of Indiana, Mick Pickford of Iowa, and Chuck Bullard of Washington all passed. All three were volunteer leaders in their state and regions for many years, made huge impacts on the sport and the young people the sport serves. We talked with Executive Director Rich Bender about these great leaders.
Mike Dowden became our state chairman right about the time that I became involved with USA Wrestling, and Mike was very responsible for the development of wrestling in the state of Indiana and their association with USA Wrestling. Mike was the epitome of what a state leader should be. Early in my career, some 26 years ago here at USA Wrestling, Mick Pickford was our state leader in Iowa and one of the foundational state chairmen that whenever there was a decision to be made by USA Wrestling, Mick was one of the first people we called. Mick was a mentor for me and someone that really stood for supporting athletes at the grassroots level. I think one of my fondest memories of Chuck will be how he just generally enjoyed being around events like the Junior Nationals and wrestling. I mean, it was obvious that Chuck had an incredible passion and desire to help young people progress in the sport, and just his jovial attitude. He was the guy that everybody wanted to be around.
It's men like these who have helped build USA Wrestling into one of the most active and successful youth sports organizations in the country. Here again, Rich Bender.
These three guys were the epitome of what a state leader should be. Our sport is so blessed to have folks like Mick and Chuck and Mike involved in our organization, but there's so many other state leaders that follow that same that fall in that same mold of people that just care about athletes, care about young people, have a deep passion for the sport of wrestling. And as an organization, I mean, we are so fortunate to have those kind of leaders rise to leadership positions within our state chapters and our organization. USA Wrestling is a grassroots, volunteer-driven organization that has had great success because of those people that have the passion for wrestling.
It's time for our USA Wrestler Photo of the Week contest. The pictures are coming in from families and fans from around the country and are also considered for the photo contest page in our magazine, USA Wrestler, and the USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's picture comes from Karen Sankey. It shows Bailey Kelly of Kansas attempting a takedown against Indiana's Jacob Cavins at the USA Wrestling Folk Style Nationals at the Cadet 195-pound semifinals. Cavins won in a barn burner 9-7. Have your photographs considered for our contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. For Mark and Brad and for all of us at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.